Good morning, my people, my people, my people. My name is Chief Strongblood, St. Vincent and the Grenadines' favorite and most hated son, the Diaspora Machismo. My people, today's topic is what you don't know can destroy you. What you don't know can destroy you. And today, apart from using the Bible, we are going to jump into the book of Joshua for a minute. And we are going to get some information from the book of Joshua that could really help us to understand some of those things in the Bible that are unclear to us. So before we start, let us approach the throne of the Most High and thank the Most High for this opportunity to come into His presence and to speak about Him, His Son, and about our sojourn on this earth. O great supreme and sovereign Most High, Father, you are the one true, living, all-powerful and sovereign God. Most High, there is none like you. Father, it is you who created the sun, the moon, the stars, and even this earth. Yahweh, when you hold those elements in your hands and you form them together, because you are the epitome of life, the life from you was infused into these things, and they became alive. Father, it is only the amazing God of creation who is able to do this. Yahweh, as I'm about to speak about you to your people, Father, put only the things you've placed upon my heart, upon my lips. Yahweh, send your holy angels to your Holy Spirit to clear my mind, to warn off all who will try to use demonic and other forces to put words in my mouth that are not in my vocabulary, or cause me to stumble over the words I am familiar with. Send your Holy Spirit to warn off all who will try to use demonic and other forces to interfere with my thoughts, to interfere with my mind, to interfere with my memory, Most High. Send your holy angels to lend safety to this place. That they, your holy angels, put a hedge of protection around this place and prevent any undesirables from getting close or trying to take away my attention from what I'm about to do here. My sovereign Father, I ask only you to do this, because there is no one else who is capable or able to do this but you. Hear my prayer, O Most High. In Yahweh's name I say, let it be done. My people, let us turn our Bibles to the book of Hosea, and let us turn to chapter 4, and we are going to read verse 6. The book of Hosea, chapter 4, verse 6. Remember, our topic today is what you don't know can destroy you. What you don't know can destroy you. Hosea chapter 4 verse 6 says, my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will reject thee, so that thou shalt not be priest to me. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God, I will forget thy children. Because you have forgot the law of your God, I will forget your children. My people, this is a serious piece of text. Because what the Most High is saying here is something we all have come to understood to be true. The Most High said that His people is destroyed for a lack of knowledge. And He said that His people have rejected knowledge, and therefore He have rejected them. But what is critical in this text, it said, the last of this text says, seeing you have forgotten the law of thy God, I will forget your children. This is the Most High speaking here. My people, the devastation that the Israelites have faced over the centuries did not have to be the portion of the Israelites. It did not have to be the portion of the Israelites. But because our father was selfish, and because we today are selfish, we didn't think of the next generation. For generations of selfishness, so each succeeding generation experiencing great hardship that could have been avoided if we were obedient to our Father. My people, in Deuteronomy chapter 28, the Most High said it clear. If you are diligent in understanding and in keeping my laws, my statutes, my ordinances, and my commands, I am going to bless you beyond your wildest dreams. But if you refuse to be faithful or diligent in listening to and understanding and doing my law, you are going to be cursed. And your cursing would only be broken when you come into obedience to my law. The same thing was outlined in Psalms chapter 1. The Most High said, "Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, sitteth in the seat of the scornful, nor stand in the way of the sinners, but the man who delights in the law of the Lord." And it went on to qualify the blessings of those who delight in the law of the Lord, and the curse of those who refuse to delight in the law of the Lord. My people, Hosea is saying that the Most High says that you're going to be destroyed for a lack of knowledge. And the only reason why you have a lack of knowledge, why we have a lack of knowledge, is because that was what we choose. We chose to reject knowledge. That was what we chose, and based off our choice, we are destroyed. My people, it is because of our obedience to the Most High why everything that happened to us. My people, knowledge is just not knowing. Knowledge is knowing, understanding, and doing. For you can know something and not understand it. And you can understand something and refuse to do it. It does not mean you have knowledge. Because knowledge is just not knowing. Knowledge is understanding. And more importantly than understanding, it is understanding to a place where you are moved to act based on that which you know and that which you understand. My people, if you get knowledge, if you know something, and you don't act upon it, it's a sign that you are foolish or you don't properly understand it. In our case, in the case of the Israelites, we are fools. We know, we understood, but we think it was too hard to do that which is the simplest of things, to act as the Most High wants us to act. My people, we must never forget that when we rejected knowledge, especially the knowledge of the Most High used our enemies to ensure that Hosea chapter 4 verse 6 come to pass. Seeing that you have forgotten my law, I will forget the children. My people, we didn't want the Most High something else. We didn't want the Most High law. We had it for centuries. For centuries we had the Most High law. We ignored the Most High law. And since we didn't want it, since it was of no use to us, he used the Edomites to take it away from us permanently. Remember, my people, in Amos chapter 8, verse 11, the Most High said that there will come a time when there will be a famine in the land. Not a famine for food and for water, but a famine for the word of the Most High. And the only reason this famine came about is because of our obedience, because of our rejection of knowledge, because of our disobedience to the laws of the Most High. The Most High used the enemies of the Israelites to take away that which we took for granted, my people. But the removal of the laws from the children of the Most High was not permanent. It was not permanent. And we did not have to depend on our enemies, the Edomites, the Caucasians, to give us back the law which he allowed them to take away from us. The Most High sent his Holy Spirit. Yahushua, the Son of the Most High, said, I'm going to send, when I leave this earth, when I, the physical embodiment of truth, leave this earth, I am going to send back to you the Spirit of truth, which is going to bring you into all truth. So we don't need the Edomites, the Caucasians, to tell us the law. The Spirit of truth is already come, and the Spirit of truth is going to lead us into all truth. And truth begins with knowing and understanding the law of the Most High, because it is in knowing and understanding the law of the Most High why we are getting to know truth. My people, in the book of Joshua, chapter 26, verse 17, a marvelous revelation is outlined there, a revelation that was hid from the knowledge of the people. The book of Joshua, chapter 26, verse 17, this is what it says. And if we understood this little nugget about the people around us, it is going to determine how we interact and deal with the people around us. The book of Joshua, chapter 26, verse 17. The boys grew up to their 15th year. He is speaking about Esau and Jacob. And came amongst the society of men. Esau was a designing and deceitful man, an expert hunter in the field. Here is what we have just learned about the father of the Edomites, the father of the Caucasians. He was a designing and a deceitful man, an expert hunter in the field. My people, the word deceit, we understand offhand. Deceit means one who is willing to deceive you, to lie to you, to induce you into trust by lying. That is what the word deceit means. But the word designing, which also lent to one of the characteristics of Esau, shed a whole new light upon Esau, upon the Edomites, upon the Caucasians. What does designing mean? It means to sit down, plan out, and execute a lie. To sit down, to plan out, and to execute that lie according to your plans. My people. So what the book of Joshua is telling us about Esau, the father of the Edomites, the father of the Caucasian race, is that he is not only deceptive, we have seen his deception all through history. We have seen what he did to the native people of the Americas, what he did to the native people of America, what he did to the native people of the Americas, to Mexico, the Aztecs, the Incas, what he did to the Caribs and the Arawaks, what he did to the Israelites, what he did to the Africans, what he did to the Indians, what he did to the Pakistanis, what he did to the Asians. We know that he is deceitful. And his deceit is always done to put him on the advantage over every other nation. But what we didn't know is that Esau is one who will sit down. He will plan in details his deceitful action, and he will go about executing his deceitful action. My people, now that we are aware of this, take a look at the lifestyle and the behaviors of the Caucasians over the centuries in the history that they have given to us. The history of every nation that they have given to us is filled with lies. It meant that they took a great deal of time in putting together the lies of the history of every nation. My people, the apple don't fall too far from the tree. Look at that. Look at these people. Look at how they accepted the friendship of the American native people. Look at how they showed the American native people friendship. And look at how they were instrumental in betraying the American native people even to their demise. They did it to every nation of the world. It was the two main characteristics of Esau that the people of his day recognized and caused to be published. Is there any way, any reason they chose to take the book of Joshua and discard it when they were creating the Bible? My people, if we go down to the book of Joshua, also details the characteristics, the dominant characteristic in Jacob. And Jacob was a man perfect and wise, dwelling in tents, feeding flocks, learning the instructions of the Lord and the command of his father and his mother. So Jacob, on the other hand, was interested in learning the commands of the Most High. He was interested in learning the history of his people from his father and his mother. Esau did not have that desire. Let us go down to the book of Joshua, chapter 26, verse 28. And before that, what you were seeing here, Abraham was preparing to die. Abraham called his son Isaac and his grandson before him. And he instructed them in the things of righteousness and in the things of the Lord. And he told them they must not depart from the law of the Lord if they ought to be successful and to continue to prosper. Isaac made a vow and assured his father that he will do as his father Abraham has instructed. Abraham then blessed Isaac, he blessed Esau, and he blessed Jacob. But listen to what is important here. Abraham taught Jacob the instructions of the Lord and his ways. Abraham taught Jacob the instructions of the Lord and his ways. Why didn't Abraham teach Esau? It is because Esau never had an interest in learning about the Most High, because Esau knew that the knowledge of the Most High was not going to benefit him. He had to get a knowledge of his father, Lucifer, because he knew who his father was. So that is why when Jacob will hang around his father to learn about the laws and the principle of the Most High, Esau didn't hang around. That is why when Abraham made himself available to teach his grandchildren of the principles, the laws of the Most High, Esau never made himself available. He wanted to learn about the things of his father, the devil. That is why he was always in the field, hunting, killing, destroying that which the Most High have created, because it pleased him to hunt and to kill, even men. And we will deal with that tomorrow, my people. Isn't there any wonder that the Caucasians will go into a place and destroy every inhabitant of that place, knowing that they are the only one who have the information of their evil deeds? They are an evil group of people. They have no sympathy for no one, my people. That is why they went in search of the new world, because they had to have someone to always oppress. They have to have someone to always oppress. So they went in search of people who did not look like them, who did not speak like them, who did not have the same progenitor as them, who were not inspired by their father, the devil, like they were. Their father Lucifer took them out to the world that they did not know about, so that they can oppress every nation under the sun. And they oppressed every nation under the sun. Today, they have an iron grip on every nation under the sun. Today, the Edomites, the Caucasians, is the world's bully. They bully every nation into submission to them. Every nation under the sun. The Chinese, the Japanese, the Asian nation. They bully the entire African continent into submission to them. They bully the entire Indian nation into submission to them. My people, every nation have felt the wrath of Esau. Every nation have felt the wrath of the devil through the devil's son Esau. And this is no lie. My people, the Most High says, because you rejected knowledge and because you rejected his law, he is going to reject our children. And for centuries, we went on selfishly living our lives today like if there were no tomorrow. We live our life today understanding, because this is not new to the scriptures. This is not new to the Bible. It has always been in the Bible. And we live today. We didn't care a damn about our children. We sacrifice for our children. We tell our children we love them every day. But we didn't love them enough to move the Most High into remembering our children by the way we live, by remembering His laws, and by living as He wants us to live, my people. I personally had made that decision a few years ago when my son Malik was born. This is what the Most High tell me. You have to live the life you want your son to live. When the Most High told me that on the birth of my son Malik, one who I am close to, one who I love and will give anything for, I start changing my life. And every day, I sought how I can better be an example for my son Malik. My people, when I start living better for my son Malik, I start experiencing better in my life, in my thought, in my wisdom, in the things that I do, because the Most High now start blessing me outside the scope of my abilities. My people, you cannot be so selfish that you live like a dog and cause your children and your children's children to live and to experience the hardship that we have experienced, knowing that we have the power in our hands. We have the power to live a life that can alter the course of the future of our children, and we refuse to do it because we are too selfish. My people, I want my son Malik to have the best life he can have. I don't want him to experience the thing that I have experienced. I don't want him to do the thing that I did. That is why, even as a child, I was telling him how he must live his life. And when I tell him how to live his life, it's because that is what I wanted for him. And that is what I was endeavoring to do with my life. My people, we cannot be so selfish that we allow the next generation to experience what our foreparents experienced, what we are currently experiencing. And all we have to do is to honor the Most High with our lives by living as He wants us to live, by committing to Him, and He will do the rest. My people, we cannot be so selfish to sacrifice the next generation for pleasures that don't last, for riches that will never last. But our faithfulness will last in the lives of our children and in our children's children. Oh, great Supreme and Sovereign Most High, I thank You for this another opportunity to speak to Your people. Father, I ask that You let Your Holy Spirit go with my words. Let Your Holy Spirit lend clarity where I would have lent confusion. In Yahshua's name I say, let it be done. My name is Chief Strongblood, St. Vincent and the Grenadines' favorite and most hated son. Telling you that for the next 2 days we have some very powerful message coming up. Don't miss it. I am out. Talk to you tomorrow.